Show is a podcast featuring several adults with nothing better to do on a Saturday night. Content warnings can be found in the episode description below.
What is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to a show where I haphazardly gather my friends together. We talk about something or nothing or everything in between. I'm Adam, joined by my boy Junky and my boy PK, and not our boy sleepy co-host Beard, because he's a sleepy guy, so we let him rest. We let him rest on this auspicious episode 6. Which is a bummer because I had something planned today, but I'll loop them in next time or between this episode and next episode. Have either of you played Dungeons and Dragons?
No,
I've done it once.
oh, I want to so bad though.
Okay, but you guys,
I just can't do voices. That's the big thing that like deters me from playing, is because like I don't want to be that guy that like in GTA is the only RP that I've ever really played, and I'm a one voice Andy, and I don't want to sit there and every RP area I go to in life is just a one voice Andy, you know?
Right. No, that's fair. I've also only played one campaign.
Yeah, I played one. It was like a Pathfinder campaign.
What is Pathfinder? What's different about Pathfinder?
I think it's just Dragons? I think Pathfinder. I mean, obviously, people correct me if I'm wrong. Like people in the chat would probably know better. I think it's just like a different. I think it's just the way like the rules are and like the builds and everything, and what the actual like the actual like campaigns are very different. Okay. But like, I mean, the one time I played it, God, this would have been like 13 years ago. My buddies who were like very big on like, you know, all this shit, and they were just like, "Yeah, you want to try?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And like, you know, you get your character, you make your build, your names, etc. I think I was an Inquisitor when I did mine.
Sounds fun.
And I actually liked it because it was like a kind of like the guy was very good at like long range and like close range combat, and he could also like cast certain different judgments. Like he could tell if somebody was like lying or somebody, or like he could tell if somebody was lying.
Kind of like paladin adjacent.
I guess I don't really know. Because again, like my experience as someone who's played D&D is very slim to none kind of thing. I've wanted to try and like actually be a part of one where like, you know, whoever the DM is like, you know, willing to kind of like help guide people if they get lost or confused kind of thing.
Right. Which
it was supposed to do with some people, but that ended up not happening. But I mean, D&D is pretty cool. Like if you like role play and you kind of like the idea of rolling dice to like determine like your, you know, outcome.
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to try if you want to get creative.
I do a lot of dice rolls at my desk instead of in the server.
Okay,
so that's been fun. Just like using like physical dice, and also like hides it from the stream, so like they don't see it.
Yeah.
What I found was that Pathfinder is often called D&D 3.75 because it's an improved continuation of Dungeons and Dragons 3.5, which I guess is versus what most people are playing now, which is 5e or 5th edition.
Right.
So okay, it's like it's just an improved upon older version of D&D.
Yeah, I think yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I was thinking about something. I was chit-chatting with some folks, and I was listening to some podcasts, and I was thinking about what like something like a fun activity for us would be. And then I kind of just explored into like an entire idea of something I want to do, and I don't know if I would have time for. I wanted to, as an experiment, what I was going to bring to you guys today was I was going to have you guys create D&D characters, but I would give you guys an itemized list of things. So these would be traits that would define your background, as well as things that you would use to like describe abilities that your character has.
Mhm.
And what you would do is that you would use the titles of songs to fill in all these spaces. But then on top of that, we would do it as a draft. So what that means is that we would go back and forth in a snake order. And if somebody else picks a song that you were planning to use, you no longer can use it. It's off the table.
Oh.
And we go in order and see what we've built.
Okay, interesting.
Then I was thinking about, okay, how do I like bamboozle these guys now who have made these characters from scratch in a very non-functional way? How do I start tricking them into playing one shots of D&D on the podcast once in a blue moon with these characters? And then that formed into, okay, we take these characters, but now you do an entire season or an entire campaign with these characters, but every single session is its own separate one shot where it's like very like multiversal. And I'm like, well, now I have to write a fucking story and do a whole bunch of like world building. I don't know. I wanted to see how you guys would fare trying to seriously make a Dungeons and Dragons-esque character though with those prompts.
Interesting.
I feel like it would take me like all week.
Well, that's what I would have issued it to you guys on like Sunday, and then we would have gotten back here on Saturday and be like, all right, what'd you have?
Yeah.
I'd probably shoot for it next week. See if we can't get like all 6 slots filled on next week.
Yeah, next week's tough because next week's Easter.
Ooh, is it?
Yeah. Next week's tough.
I'm going to go paint eggs with Momo and her mom tomorrow.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm actually fucking excited. I'll be real.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hyped.
What day is Easter?
Well, Good Friday is on Friday. And then I would assume
Easter's
Sunday. It's Sunday, so no, Good Friday is Good Friday. Easter would be on the 5th, which yeah, you're right. Sorry, Sunday.
So it'd be Friday? No, it's Friday.
No.
Or no, it's the 5th.
I had to look at my calendar and like, what day is the 5th?
I'm not even quite sure what day of like following the calendar is like hard. It's way harder than it should be.
It's hard when, you kind of lose you kind of lose the whole like idea of like consciousness to know what day it is, especially like when you've been doing so much, considering I've been doing so much lately that like, I mean, my sleep hasn't been the greatest, and I've been busy enough because we literally just like, we put up our house like over a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've had to be in and out during the day, and then we finally sold the other day, and then now I have to go look for like an apartment or like a new place. So it's been tiring.
That's fair. It was always hard for me to follow what like day of the month it is when I didn't have a job. But even though like I work a regular schedule every week, it's still just I know it's Monday. That's about the extent of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I think it's April soon. I think it might be April any second now. Honestly, I feel like I really lost that with COVID. I feel like the shutdown just like showed me a bunch of things I don't have to care about anymore and don't really need to care about, and just haven't gone back. Which happy belated 6-year anniversary of the longest 2 weeks of our lives.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been 6 years, dude.
I mean, didn't COVID like get announced like early March though?
Well, the shutdown in the US started in mid-March, but
I was gonna say ours was like early March.
The news surrounding COVID had been coming around since like, I want to say like November, like the year previous.
I don't know.
Where it was like making its way.
Well, I remember. I mean, fun fact. So I remember during that time I was in like I was literally in my second year of assistant editing for Blue's Clues.
Yep.
And I just remember like the news happened. We all got brought into work, and they're like, "Yeah, guys, we're gonna be closing down the studio." I'm like, "So does this mean we're like out of a job?" And then they're like, and then like they pause for like 5 seconds, and they're just like, "Oh no, 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 no." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank God," because I was actually making like really good money at the time. And then they just told us like we were gonna have like a week off just because like the IT team had to figure out like how people were gonna be able to work from home. And then they ended up building like a bunch of they ended up building like a bunch of PCs that for those like who couldn't afford it, like to take them home with them. And then I already had a good enough PC, so literally all I had to do was just connect via like an IP like VPN kind of thing, so I could just work on my work computer from the office. And I mean, it was okay, but I will say like I don't miss COVID, like the shutdown time, like at all, just because
Nah.
even with it, I still got forced to go into the office like at nighttime because I was a nighttime person, so I was the only person who was at the office, and it was like quiet as fuck. I was just
Ugh.
like, dude, I was like, dude, I hate this. I'm like, I don't even feel. I was like, I didn't even feel safe just because, like, I mean, the neighborhood I was in, thankfully, was nice,
Mhm.
but fuck, man, like, I don't miss waking up, driving like 20 to 30 minutes, and being there for like 6 to 8 hours, and then having to drive home at like 3 a.m. in the morning, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's tough. I worked in a public utility, so I didn't really get like the wonky everyone gets to figure out like how to work from home now period. I just kept going to work. And that first day after the shutdown was so fucking eerie, dude, because I was living in Orlando. It's pretty densely populated. It's rush hour is all hours of the day. And then that
Yeah.
first day of the shutdown, not a single soul on the road. Nobody. And it was just me in my fucking cable van, just still going to people's houses.
Hmm.
But it was down to, at the start, it was me showing up, being like, all right, I'm gonna do everything outside. If it's inside the house, I guess you're just SOL, guys.
Hmm. I
And
mean, I get that. So,
then eventually they're like, all right, you guys can go inside the house. Okay, you guys need to start, like, here's your company like branded like face masks and all this other stuff. Um okay, well, now you're only going in a house, but you're only going in to swap in a cable box. You're not doing any like outlet work or like attic crawling. And I was
mhm.
just like, the hoop kept, like, it wasn't that they kept moving the goalpost, but the hoop you had to jump through was different every week. I was like, this sucks.
I hated the idea of like, I mean, obviously, like in the early part of COVID, I just remember people freaking the fuck out because they were like, oh my god, like I'm gonna have to get all the water, I'm gonna have to get all the toilet paper I can possibly get. And then there was a bit of a shutdown, and then there was like a point where like they had only allowed so many people into the grocery stores. And
Mm-hmm.
then I just remember the times I drove to work for the first few months. There was literally like nobody on the roads. Like I instead of
So
taking like
weird.
instead of taking half an hour to like 45 minutes to get to work, I was taking like 15 to 20 because I was just going ape. I was just going like no problem on the highway, no traffic, barely any red lights when I get into the city. And I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, this is pretty straightforward. But like the one thing I will say is that when there was the point of where I didn't have to go into the office and could work from home, staring at the same four walls every day for like a year and a half to like 2 years was not that great.
Oh yeah. I mean, because I had lost my job mid COVID, not everybody coming back from work. Like the world was kind of functioning. Like we are at that part where like everybody's like starting to not give a fuck, but there still weren't like live concerts or anything like that.
Hmm.
Um, so I was doing a lot of contract work from home, and I also rented a bedroom. So like I just my office and my bed were 2 feet from each other, and it sucked. It just was not good for me, man. Like
Hmm.
the biggest reason that when I got this apartment, biggest reason I sprung for a 2 bedroom, even though it's just me, is so I can keep where I sleep and where I was working separate. And even then, even now, even though I leave the house for 40 hours a week for work, Like I just because I just come home and I just am working on something else anyways. It's completely separated from my kitchen, my living room, my bedroom. It's just it's not it. This bedroom doesn't look anything like the rest of the house.
Mhm.
Like it's not unified at all with the rest of the furniture or anything in the home at all either. It's just that they keeping that stuff separated was something I wish I could do during those first like 6 months when I had started full time working from home.
Yeah, I mean, I do miss the job and I do miss the money, but I definitely don't miss the isolation.
Yeah.
The isolation was pretty rough.
I miss the 24-hour Walmart.
I miss the people that would drive in their car with a mask on.
Yeah, fair.
I miss watching those weirdos go by.
I don't miss the
doing?
anti-vaxxers and the anti-maskers piping up every 5 seconds.
Oh, dude, I hated hearing that shit from my brother, especially. He's just like, oh, these people, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care, bro. I'm not here to talk politics. Just let me live my life.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
At the shop I worked at, where they were forcing everybody to wear masks that came into the building, one woman got in a bunch of people's faces about it, left, and came back with a mask on her face, and then written in Sharpie, it said 99% success rate or survival rate. And I was like, you're just breathing in Sharpie, you idiot. You fucking moron.
My thing is when COVID was going on and we were requiring masks and stuff, I was working retail and in the like shopping center mall that I was in, the entire mall itself was, regardless of if you had a like gun carry permit or not, you were not allowed to carry a weapon on the premises because the whole mall was like a private property area. Yeah. And so when we knew that people were walking into our store and, you know, people were going to bring their concealed carries in there. I was working at Carhartt in the Midwest, you know, like people are going to walk into that building with a concealed carry on them. Yeah. But when we knew people had a concealed carry, we had to ask them to leave and go put it in their vehicle because they're not allowed in the building with a concealed carry. And this was just especially scary when there was people walking in there and they just got full on like ski mask on, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like they're not wearing your regular like hospital mask. They're not wearing like the cool fancy, you know, fabric ones that they bought off of Etsy. They just bought a toboggan. No, what is it? No, a shiesty. They call them shiesties. They bought a shiesty from Carhartt the day before and then came back with that shiesty on their face. With a concealed carry. And I'm like, I as a manager at the time, I had to be the one to walk up and ask that person to leave the building, and they'd always get a little like upset with you about it. I'm like, brother, you like, it's not a store policy, it's not a thing for me. This is a literal like shopping mall. This is a mall policy. If you don't follow this policy, I'm going to have to call mall security to come escort you out of this building. And I don't want to do that. I'm not asking you to do this. The mall is asking you to do this. I just have to enforce it. So
you
either go
split you want this shit, bro? I'll get Paul Blart right down here right now, man. Better watch the fuck.
It's like I always gave him the thing. I was like, brother, I don't want to sit here and argue with you. Either you go put it in your car and you come back in, or I call security. Like those are your two options. Like there's nothing else that I'm going to do for you. You've got two of them.
Anytime I had to get in,
fine.
Anytime I had to deal with somebody where like it was enforcing a rule that I had no control over, it was always something like in your situation, the formula would have put it to, you can go talk to my landlord because you are not getting anywhere in this conversation by talking to me. It's like, I'm just telling you what's up, but I can't change it. I'm not that guy that's going to be.
Yeah. And I have no authority to like bend the rule for you. You know, like if you want the rule bent for you, if you want it changed, you got to go talk to somebody completely different.
Call John. Go call John call John landlord.
Yeah,
He'll
call John
fix it.
landlord and he'll fix it for you.
Yeah.
But me, I just enforce the rule. Well, I just tell you about the rule, and if you don't want to follow it, call the people that enforce it.
Yeah.
Like I got, or like the people that get pissed off at you because like the prices changed on something like 2 weeks after they bought it, and they're like, "I was in here yesterday and it was $14.99. Now it's $25.99." I was like, "That
you should have bought it yesterday."
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I've told people that." I was like, "You should have been here yesterday then." I mean, the price changed on it 2 weeks ago, but man, if you were in here yesterday and you wanted to buy that and you saw it at that price yesterday, even though it was that price 2 weeks ago, oh man, you should have bought it yesterday.
Gotta love those.
Today, and the price is different. So,
yeah, you gotta love those retail Karens. You know.
My thing is I'm appreciative that in retail companies, like slowly over time, it happened like after COVID is when it like really started spiking. Is retail employees don't put up with people's shit anymore.
Yeah, because
I actually really enjoy that. I'm really happy that they don't, because the customer's always right is so fucking dumb. It's not even funny, because 99% of the time they're fucking wrong every time.
Yeah, it's just
that's like some shit from the 50s. That's some shit from like like pre-boomer era shit.
I mean, hell, dude, I remember when I worked at like what you guys would consider like a sporting goods store, right? So like Canadian Tire is what it's called, but Canadian Tires, like everything, like
they didn't sell tires.
Oh no, they did. Oh no, they did, because there was cars and everything.
What? This was a sporting goods store?
So it's like you know, it's like auto shop, retail, like it's like auto shop, home housewares, appliances, like tools, sports. I wouldn't say Walmart, really.
Without the food.
Well, there was a point where food did become a thing, and that only lasted like a year, and then they said, yeah, it's not making us money, it's making us lose money, and then they got rid of it. But I just remember like this one time there was like a sale, and it was like during Christmas or whatever, or not Christmas, it was like the summertime. It was like the you know, back to school like bullshit, where like, you know, people are like, oh yeah, like back to school stuff, but there's also like sales on other things or like clearances. And this guy comes up to me and he's complaining that there was a misprint on the flyer, you know, and he's like really begging for help. He's like, can you give me some fucking help, man? I'm really trying to get this sorted. I'm like, yeah, no, like let me get a manager. And like I'm constantly like radioing for one, and like nobody's answering. And then I go looking for one, and he's just following me, like berating me like from behind. He's like, and then he gets so mad. She's like, so are you fucking gonna help me, you fat fuck, or what? And I'm like, excuse me. So I fucking turn around, and like the manager who I finally found was like right there as I was about to tap her on the shoulder, and he said that shit, and I turned around. I'm like, the fuck you say to me? And I just remember my manager, because like I'm 6'2", and this guy is like, I don't know, 50, like 5'7". And I turned around and I started approaching him like when he said that shit, and like one of the managers that was there, it was like got me to like back up. And she's like, I'll take it from here. I'm like, okay. And then, you know, she's talking to him, and then he's still doing his bullshit. They figure out the problem. They take all the flyers away, and they say like, we need a reprint or whatever, or they make an announcement and shit. And then he literally goes to the cash register to like go check out, and he's dealing with one of the guys, like, and like, you know, the dude who was working the cash register, like he's like, you know, he's gay, like super flamboyant and stuff, and then he starts picking on him for being gay, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, a lot of people just start circling him, and the manager and the owner are like, yeah, you need to get the fuck out. Like, just get out. Like, it was so dumb, man. Like, I just like the like, I agree with Junkie, like the whole like customer is always right bullshit. Like, yeah, sure, you were right that the flyer was wrong, but it doesn't mean you need to start berating people for like looks, you know, gender, sexuality, like all that shit. I was just like, dude, you need to calm the fuck down.
I guess the full quote is the customer is always right in matters of taste. Just means they know what they want to buy.
Yeah.
I guess. Dude, speaking of telling people to get the fuck out, I saw it, or it was someone sent me an Instagram reel the other day of my old Starbucks I used to work at, and someone pulled up to the drive-through, but the caption just says, "Seeing their reaction, placing my order, and saying the N-word at the end of every sentence." And it was very quickly, like, very polite. It was like, you know, trying to like get through like taking the order. And then after a minute, it was like, all right, like, we're not serving you with, you're going to use that kind of language towards us and you need to leave. And he goes, oh, okay. So I go and place my order at the window. He goes, no, we're not serving you at this time. What do you mean you're not serving me? Like, why you don't want to serve me all of a sudden? They're like, we have certain missions and values here, sir. And he's like, fuck your mission and values. And then the next clip is him at the window pointing the camera in, and they're calling the cops. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's coffee, man. I'm so happy I don't work there anymore. That probably would have been my last day. The dude was getting unruly with me, or unruly over me, over a bunch of views, you know? Like, that's the craziest fucking thing ever. I'll have to send it to you guys because it's dumb. It's just dumb retail things.
I just don't get it, man. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can't just be a human. Like, you're going into like, every time I go into like a retail store or something, I'm like the first thought in my brain is like wanting to be as kind as humanly possible to the people working there, because on top of the fact that they're working and doing things, they're stocking shelves, they're doing all these things, but like, I'm the moron, I'm the idiot in the building, because I don't know where shit is. I don't know what's best for me. You know, do I need this brand or this brand? I'm the moron in the situation.
You need them.
I need them to finish my my task and my mission. And so it's like, that's like going to the quest guide and going, hey, yo, you fat piece of shit. It's like, he's not going to help you.
Okay, so I wish I could start every WoW. I wish I could start every quest in WoW like that. What's up, fucker?
Hey, yo, what's up, bitch?
You need to go kill like 7 wolves? I'll be back. I got you. Little dumbass.
Dumbass. Can't do it yourself.
Dude, no thank you. You think people are rude when they go into stores and have some level of anonymity. Some of the worst things I've ever been said to my face is because I was doing door-to-door sales. I get it. Yeah, I'm walking up into your bubble, like I'm walking onto your home turf. I get it. I'm bothering you. I'm knocking on your door. I'm ringing your doorbell. I get it, man. But holy shit. I mean, I always laugh to myself. I always laugh to myself because I'm like, that's a bold thing to say to somebody who knows exactly where you live. But still, just like, Jesus, like, I've definitely like thought about like what if I drove by and like threw like a baseball out their window? Like, like, fuck those guys. I probably had my worst customer service thoughts because of door-to-door sales.
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually shocked to see a guy come by the house the other day.
Nobody fucking does it anymore.
Doing door-to-door sales for like a cell phone company, like
That's
just
tough,
like,
man.
Well, I mean, some of the internet companies here do it, and you know, like I had a guy, but like some of them are very pushy, you know. Like, I had to
fucking get it done. Like, the people who were the top salesmen.
Oh no, I don't. Hold on. I don't mean like trying, like when I mean like pushy, I mean like trying to actually like force their way in pushy, like into your home.
Oh, because like, if they're in that, dude, if I'm in your house, I'm walking out with like having made you a customer. Like,
oh yeah, no, 100%.
Like, hook, line, and sinker. That is, like, they're pushy for that reason, but they're pushy for a lot of other reasons. I was top sales my first month there, and then like it was just all downhill from there. But anybody who was a consistent top seller, I couldn't stand talking to for more than 5 minutes because they were just that kind of person, or they were just very dominating in the conversation. I was just like, dude, I don't want to fucking like go hang out. Like you're making it sound very convincing. Fuck off. I'm good. I'm so square, man.
I had when I lived in my apartment like a few years ago, this guy knocked on my door, and I thought, oh, it's one of my neighbors. And then this random guy is at the door, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And it was the sales guy. And I'm like, can I help you? And he's like, yeah, I'm looking to see like, if you're looking to like upgrade your internet and stuff. I'm like, who you with? And he like tells me the company. And I'm like, no, not really. Like, I don't really like that company. And he's like, why not? Like, because you guys fucked me over like big time on a phone bill that like didn't exist back in the day.
I walk away from that.
Yeah. And he goes, well, I mean, he's like, well, I could, I could try and, talk to you a little more and see if we could actually like, sit down and whatnot and talk about it. And then he starts to push the door open, like to try and start walking in. And like he was moving to the point where I actually had to physically push him back. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he goes, oh, I thought we were going to have a conversation. And I'm like, I'm having a conversation with you right here. You're not coming into my fucking apartment. And he goes, why, are you busy? And I said, yes, I am. I'm cooking dinner. He goes, oh, well, I'll sit at the table and you can cook. And I'm like, or you can just go fuck yourself and get out of the building before I call the cops. And he just fucking left.
Dude, they would give me 500 addresses to knock on every month. And I had to sell 20 of them, which is hard. It's hard.
So it's like a quota.
Yeah, I had to fill quotas. It's why I don't work there anymore.
Fair.
And some of my addresses would be in neighborhoods that had like no soliciting like posted on the gate or at like the front like security box like before you go in. And I would just push my luck. But one time I'm doing some doors on in like a condominium area. So a lot of these places are like right next to each other and they're very like cattywampus, like catty cornered, like connected buildings. And it's apparent to me within the first like 3 houses, I was like, oh, this is an elderly community. I'm like, one, I guess it would be an easy sale. Like it's easy to gain like the trust because I wasn't like in the business of fucking people over, but I definitely wasn't in the business of like letting people kind of like push me over. But so it was like elderly people, I can kind of get gain the trust of pretty quickly. This should actually be pretty good for me. 5th house I knock it. I shit you not. This woman who's like, I swear, like 3'8", very hunched over elderly woman is waiting at the door for me to come knock up, and her arms are crossed. Like, the one like teacher that like was like hunched over in Recess. Remember that cartoon? It's basically that, but like
the teacher. You said the teacher.
I think it was a teacher,
and they were hunched over.
Yeah, it's just like imagine your garden variety like old woman like in like a dress but like slouched over like at like almost a 90-degree angle like level. And like she's like crossing her arms, but like her hunch is like so severe that like her arms are just like crossed but hanging in front of her, and she's looking at me. She's got to be like 85 like or something. And I go to knock and I see she's already there. I'm like, oh, hello, hi, how are you today? And she goes, you're not supposed to be here, right? You're referring to the no soliciting, right? Referring to the no soliciting sign. It was like talking to the fucking Grudge. I swear there was not a single light on in that house, and just you're not supposed to be knocking in this neighborhood. And I was just like, so fucking like flabbergasted. I was like, you have a great day. I'll be going now. I called my boss. I was like, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing it.
You nasty. I mean, the door-to-door sales stuff like is very interesting, but at the same time, like, kind of going back to my story, but like if you're going to be to the point of where like you're actually going to use like some sort of forcement to get into someone's house or like apartment or whatever,
I think that's just battery.
That's just, I mean, at that rate, it's just intrusion.
Yeah, that's just home invasion. That's just what that is.
Yeah.
What made it worse is that I sold internet, which everybody fucking has. So, yeah, that sucks.
The one that sucked for me was I lived next to before I moved. I lived next to a Mormon church, and so
they were hitting you every
bro,
week.
they were hitting my block at least like every 3 to 6 months. They were hitting my block, and I'm just like, brother.
You're like in the living room near the front door. You hear the knock. You're like, no, Dale, I'm good.
Well, see, here's what happened. So the first time they knocked, I was still like very deep into my religion. And so like I had a conversation with the guys in the hallway. It was two kids, like two teenage kids. And I had a conversation with them in the hallway and everything like that, explained to them that I was Christian, that, you know, I already know Christ and blah, 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 blah. And before they left, I was like, hey, can I pray for you guys before you leave? And they're like, yeah, of course. And so we sat in the hallway, we prayed together, and then they fucked off. The next one that showed up, I was at my desk and I had like showered like probably 45 minutes beforehand. Before this happened, and so I was still in I like my hair wasn't brushed, it was like all dried and frizzy.
45 minutes.
Well, what do you? Yeah, I mean, I hadn't brushed I didn't brush my hair. I just showered, dried myself off, put some pants on, and sat down at my desk. I didn't care.
That's like the first like 10 minutes max. What the hell? What else were you doing?
Everybody has.
That's what I did. I showered, did all this stuff, and then sat down. At
45 minutes. It's the start of the shower.
Yeah, 45 minutes
you
ago.
Got out of the shower, and then 45 minutes had passed. I was like, what?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Is I got out of the shower, 45 minutes went by, and they had knocked at my door. The reason that there's context, that's part of the context, is that I had gotten out of the shower, dried off everything, put my pants on, and then just sat down at my desk. So my hair wasn't brushed, I had no shirt on, and I was just at my desk. And so there was a knock at my door, and I just got up from my desk and walked to the door and opened it. And so I'm just like messy hair, the pajama pants, and no shirt, just opening my front door to seeing who's there. And
as you do.
It's these like two teenage girls.
Nice.
And I just go, hey,
the worst.
What's going on? And they're like one of them, I immediately saw, she looked me up and down and her face got red. And they're like, oh, well, we're here with the blah, blah, blah church. And I go, oh, yeah, some two gentlemen from your guys' church came by like a couple of months ago. Yeah, I'm all right. I already spoke to you guys. I'm good. I already know Jesus. We're all set. And they're like, oh, okay, well, thank you. And I was like, yeah, you guys have a good day. And then I closed the door. I read their name tags. I'm a big person of reading name tags. Like, I don't remember their names now, but I read their name tags. Because I always, like, whenever people are like providing a service or like come somewhere and they're like trying to offer me something, I want to know their name. So I read their name tag. Like 2 days later, I get a notification on Instagram. And one of the girls followed me on Instagram.
No.
Yes, she literally followed me on Instagram 2 days later.
That ain't right.
It was very awkward. Very awkward.
God damn it.
So, moral of the story, I have never answered my door without fully dressed.
Without a 3-piece suit.
I now immediately grab a hat and put a hat on so that they can't see my hair, and I put a shirt on and I answer the door.
You do the classic Avengers undercover. You're just like hat and aviator glasses, and now no one knows who I am.
No one knows who I am.
That's not Captain America. That's John Person.
Yeah, that's John Apartment.
Donald Human Guy. I believe they call him Mr. Dude.
I believe they call that Mr. Let's
I
John Guy.
I haven't had any embarrassing front door stories. Definitely haven't had any of that. Not yet. I mean, there's the first time for everything. I think the worst would be like if I was expecting company and I heard a knock at the door, and then it's like one of my neighbors that like always seems to trap me in conversation when I'm coming home from work. I had a really bad habit, or my neighbor, I guess, had a really bad habit of just so happening to open their door when I'm walking up the stairs to my apartment and wanting to try and sell me something. First, it was like old Cleveland Indians gear. Then it was a watch. Then it was like furniture. I'm like, dude, I don't want anything. Please fucking stop. And I had some neighbors move out recently, and they were elderly. They were always asking me to like lift heavy shit. But now they're gone.
Sure you don't miss that.
And I have neighbors below me, and I'm pretty sure they hate my ass. Because the girlfriend is always up early in the morning going to work, and I'm always up late as fuck, hooting and hollering at my desk. I've never received a noise complaint, so I think I'm chilling.
Unless the walls are that, thick that they can't hear anything.
I mean, I never received a noise complaint at my apartment, but I knew those motherfuckers hated my ass.
You getting noise complaints now?
Well, no. What I get is Momo the midstream playing a song and then just screaming from upstairs, Junky! And so I open her stream and it's a song I love. And so I start screaming the lyrics from downstairs so that you hear it on her stream. That's what I get now.
I would die.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, like, I know it's like 6 p.m, but come on. Come on, guys.
I mean,
what?
I think that's one thing I'm gonna miss about living in this house is, when my pops is gone, like when my pops is away, like he's going away tomorrow because he's gonna go look at apartments and shit. So, I know when we move, like I'm not gonna be able to fucking, I'm not gonna be able to be as loud when I am when people are like away or just in general, because who knows who's gonna be living in
sharing walls and all that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
tomorrow, Devin's last hurrah.
No, this week is Devin's last loud hurrah, I guess, for a while.
I need to ride with you so that we can just keep pulling people over all day, so that someone will eventually be an armchair Karen and you can start doing the fucking laugh at them while they're trying to talk.
Oh, like I did last time.
Yeah. I thought about that today. I had to stop what I was doing because I was laughing so fucking hard, dude.
Well, it's like, in December, when I was streaming for like 2 straight weeks, and then Junkies on Chain, and we're chasing after Oscar Pepper's fucking, or Oscar Hayabusa's fucking car. He's like, Devin, is there someone in the car with you? I'm like, no, sir. I'm just locked the fuck in. And everybody was like surprised to hear me screaming.
Bro, there's been multiple times that you've screamed something, and I'm like, who the fuck is in Devin's car? And then he screams again, and I get the hint of your voice behind it, and I go, oh, it's Devin.
I hate when I have to
funny, dude.
I hate when I have to like raise my voice at people in role play, because I'm like, I like sit back and I'm like, I just had to be the adult in the room. I had to like sometimes.
I had to do that with the Ballas like a few weeks ago, or like over a week ago.
I was sick of it last night at the court case.
Because I was just like,
the thing I hate is when people are doing something and you have to raise your voice at them in character, and you have to be the adult in the room, and then they get like, the way they start responding is like their OOC upset at you for yelling at them.
Good, because I'm OOC upset at them.
Like that's the shit that I hate. That's the shit I hate so much. Like, bro. And
good, because I hate you. Not your character. I hate you now.
God, dude, it's just like, bro.
I mean, there was when we went to Grove Street, like almost 2 weeks ago, and like 4 ballers were down on the ground. I mean, we knew they were in conflict, and we got them for a GRS and everything. We put them in the cells and everything, and they keep doing the thing, like, you know how like when you hit E and the door's locked and you can unlock a door and it just sounds like people are banging on the door.
Yeah.
Like they were literally doing that, and I had to literally go in there and yell and tell them to stop banging on the fucking door, and they stopped. And they're like, "We're hungry." I'm like,
No,
"Okay, you can get fed in prison. You can fucking wait."
Or, you know, you could use your fucking words.
I mean, we told them we would get them food and stuff, but then, like, you know, they kept doing all these things, and I just told them, like, if you guys keep this up, like, you're not gonna get anything. And then they started acting like a bunch of children, and I'm just like, all right, well, God forbid for you know, God forbid you guys can't wait like 5 minutes because, you know, people are contesting charges. People are doing this. This means we have to look into stuff, and we have to look at all the evidence and everything. And
that's why I don't want to process people anywhere except like the buildings that have the like soundproof to like separation. Like I don't want to do it at Del Perro anymore after them demanding a bench trial after like a huge shootout with the cops, which means like 45 minutes of like forensics and everything.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a little. I mean, I wasn't there for it because I had to dip, but like I did watch while I was like kind of sleeping, and I was just like, yeah, I'd be annoyed at this too, honestly.
I'm just like, oh, if just because you said bench trial doesn't mean it's happening.
Yeah,
3 seconds later.
Yeah, I mean, and also to be fair, because I know the situation that you're talking about, they also could have just, you know, not shot the person in the boat.
My thing is I wish that instead of just everything being allowed to go to a bench trial, everything, I wish that it was like if somebody screamed a bench trial in situations like that, like a massive OIS, like judges should say no. The like, although you have rights to a bench trial, you have rights to a bench trial on particular levels of crime. And if it gets to a certain point, it's like, no, you can't bench trial that. You have to like criminal docket that. Like you have to take that to court. Because it's like you get those situations. You get those situations where a big shootout happens or like a 2-hour long chase happens that turns into a shootout. And it's like, bro, we've been going at you guys for the last hour and a half, 2 hours just to end this situation. And now you want to extend it even further by going to court with it.
Well, that's what I mean. I think at that point, it's just a waste of time.
Those things should not be allowed to go to a bench trial.
I feel like
be required to go to court and have to be scheduled and shit like that.
Yeah, I feel like at that rate, you're just wasting time because you don't want to get sent to jail for like X amount of time. Because like, I mean, like I get it, like as PD, like we kind of like are like soft admins, essentially. So like we are essentially like, you know, like cops are essentially putting you in timeout for however long. But it's like, you know, if you don't want to go to jail for this long, you don't want this much time, fine, etc.
Don't get caught, pussy.
Don't get caught.
Well, I always saw it
as... it's more so like if you can't do it's I've been saying it for years of like GTRP, but it's just like, you know what the consequences are when you do these things, like time and fine, like in RP. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. And then, you know, if you have a hot gun and you have it on you and you use it in different situations, and it all adds up at the end of the day. Like,
oh, dude, we got somebody.
Don't get me wrong. Like, hey, I appreciate the breadcrumbs with the gun, but if you start complaining that like you're getting so much time because of the gun that you had on you, then, you know, maybe think twice next time. I don't know.
Dude, not to become like a roleplay locked episode, but we caught somebody who had 4 warrants and then they had a gun that was hot to 6
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
other situations. They were getting sent up on 10 separate reports. I was like, holy fucking shit.
The greatest thing ever.
I mean,
I'm like,
I
that's
get
gotta
it.
be a
Like,
record, right?
I mean, I get it. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that kind of shit, but like, if you're the person who is like got that gun and you're in possession, and like you want to bench trial all this, I mean, listen, if people are gonna be upset because a gun is hot, I mean, and like, you know, let's say they were a part of that situation, and we know they were, or we have a hunch that they were, and I mean, you know, and they want to bench trial it at that rate, it's like, if I'm a defense lawyer and I have to look at all that shit, I would just be like, I'd be like, as representation, I would highly suggest that you just take that to the docket and not fight it today. Like, that's what I would be saying. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I really appreciate the RP that we can give for lawyers. But, like, for the lawyers, I'm sure they'd all be like, yeah, I think you should just take this to the docket. But to be fair, there are some lawyers that are just going to say, yeah, we're going to bench trial it because they just want to see, like, what they can do. But I think my hot take on bench trials right now, there are definitely people who just do that shit to fucking weaponize it so they can get 40% time reduction. And I'm just like, dude, like, we caught you red-handed doing all this shit, and you want to contest everything? Like, bro.
Yeah, dog.
Like, at that rate, I'm just like, you're just doing this because you know you fucked up, you're mad, etc. That's just my take. I don't really care I don't really care if people are like, oh, this guy's like being a dickhead. It's like, no, I'm being real. It's like, you know what you're doing. Like, shut the fuck up.
You want to know what grinds my gears? Like the worst.
Tell me, Peter.
Tell me, Peter.
Is when somebody who's arguing with you goes, ha ha ha, you're mad. I hate that so much.
I mean, at that rate, it's just not roleplay.
No, just in general in life, in every aspect of the world, people who sit there going, you're mad as a comeback to the argument. Oh, I wish they would die on the spot. I wish they would just,
I mean, in roleplay,
I wish their soul would just leave their body right there.
Just in jail or insert in the server, just jail state ID 100 months and walk away. I wish I could get away with dumb shit like that, where it's just like I just scream banish and I send them to jail for like 5 months. It's some dumb shit like that, man.
I think
we were gonna do some fuck shit with that. To Jeff,
I know I remember there's been times, I know, because I know you said like we only have so much time left and I don't want to keep it like on RP, but like I just remember one time like Warjack on Joe was just like, yeah, these guys are going up full time, no reductions, nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, he's pissed. I'm like, or he's like fucking annoyed, and I'm just like, yeah, good call, honestly.
I think we're pretty ingrained in the role play stuff today. I'm chill with it. What did Jeff do to us the other night, Junky? He like drove by us and like said something dumb. I can't remember.
He said something. Jeff pulled up to us while we were doing something, and adzno wanted me to just.
I DM Junky. I DM Junky. I said, I have an idea. Let's go find Jeff. I'll pull up and scream power word kill, and then you just kill him with admin menu. We drive away. After he just drove up and said something dumb to us. And just like, I want to fuck with him so bad.
He did. He drove up and said losers and then drove off.
He said losers
because we couldn't find him. What I did is I opened his inventory and just jumbled up his entire inventory, took everything that was in his wallet and pulled it out of his wallet into his inventory so that his whole inventory was just an absolute mess.
Interesting.
I was like, you want to drive by me and call me a loser? Get fucked, Jeff. Get fucked, loser.
I remember standing outside of the ranger station and someone was remotely fucking with my character's inventory. and I thought the admin was right there, invisible in front of me. So I just started like whispering to the void. I was just like, I know what you're doing. I don't want to.
And in reality, we're like
pissing me the fuck off.
halfway across the fucking map, not even near you.
Yeah. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, I know that you know that. I know that you're fucking with my pockets, and I don't like it. And I want you to stop. And I'm like, if you don't stop right now, I'm just gonna go fucking play on Prodigy. Fuck you. And then I found out like a day later that there was nobody around me.
Yeah, no. But that's, I mean, that's one of my favorite things is like, I'll just like quickly double check what that person's doing and then fly away and fuck with them. Like, not even, I don't know what they're doing. There's been times where I've just gone, I don't care what they're doing. And I've ragdolled somebody. So they could be in the middle of a shootout for all I know. And they just,
Somebody was doing that to me where they were fucking throwing me like 30 feet in the air repeatedly.
I remember that.
At,
When
like,
you're
a
on that
scene.
scene at
Yeah,
the
and I
fucking
was
gas
like-
station, it was fucking Mantis, dude.
I was so pressed. I was like,
Dude,
Bro,
I was
fuck?
too. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude.
You know
Leave
what?
us alone,
You know what
please.
Sean? You know what Sean has told me a couple of times.
Mm.
He's DM'd me while I've been on Vicky before, and he's apparently just been attached to me like while I'm doing Vicky things, and I'm like, he goes, "Man, you were driving that minimus really well on Vicky." I'm like, "Are you fucking following me?
Are you following me? Get away from me."
Because everybody fucking, I don't know. I when I hop on that character, I'm just doing it so like the cops can like chill out and just have like fun and just like have a good chase or just like whatever. And then you know,
Jeff.
I'm gonna find my boyfriend. And dude, the other night, who was it? Ice Pop and Sinosa took me hostage on Mercy and Prime, and they took me hostage for a store, and then they dropped me back off, and I took out my gun because they didn't check me for a gun, and they dropped me off, and I took my gun out, and I'm like, hands up, and I'm like, you have 5 seconds to drive off. 5, and then he starts driving, and I start shooting in the air like fucking. I start shooting in the air like MacGruber. Fucking Mercy starts. Fucking Mercy started shooting back. Mercy started shooting back, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so funny!" And then I went to go back. I went to go watch Ice Pop's VOD, and she's like, "If I see that bitch, I'm gonna fucking kill her." And I'm just like, okay. And then I came back to the scene of the crime, and I think it was like Tubbs, and somebody was like collecting evidence. I'm like, oh my god, is everybody okay? And they're like, yeah, everything's fine, move along. I'm like, okay, definitely didn't shoot or anything. Wink. And then just like drove off. Oh my god. Oh my god, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. I don't know. I've been on her a couple of times this past week, and there's just everybody's been so busy because there's like something happening. I'm like, man, like I just want to fuck with some people and have some fun, and then just everybody's so busy because there's like banks, OISs and stuff, and I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, it's been so busy. It's been so busy on Cop lately.
Grapeseed's been fucking great though. I will say that.
Yeah,
the vibes were amazing on Thursday. We were literally chasing a fucking robbery or something in the compensator, and everybody kept like, Harold was driving and everybody in the back just kept getting hurt except for me. And then everybody went down, and then we had like 5 people down in the back of the compensator, and Harold and I had to keep getting out to put people back into the fucking car. And we're like, we're, and everybody's like, where are you guys? I'm like, yeah, we're just putting everybody back in the car. We'll be reattaching here in a second. And then we ended up catching like 2 of the 4 out of everything. I was like, dude, this was funny as fuck. But, you know, I don't know, Grapeseed being Mac and just the vibes, it's just been really good. I've been having a lot of fun.
I'm glad to hear it. I think if I was an admin, I would just sit passenger in people's cars when they're driving away from the cops.
That'd
Just
be pretty
invisible.
funny.
Yeah,
Just,
we
like,
have a
hang
new one of the most recent additions to the admin menu was I can teleport into people's vehicles and pick which seat I want to teleport into.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's cool.
So there's been a couple of times where I was like, somebody's doing their heat trials in VR, and I just teleport into the passenger seat. I'm like, hey man,
I think you did it to me.
You did that to
I
me
did
when I was in the
I did do
helicopter.
it to you. I teleported into your passenger seat, and I was like, hey man.
You did it to
Do
me
your
when
heat
I was
trial?
doing the helicopter in VR.
Yeah, I teleported to the helicopter with you.
I was like, Jesus, where'd you come from?
The void.
I would just want an admin menu for just that, honestly. Just to float around and just like look at stuff on like the days where I'm just like easing into it. Like fly above like police pursuits and everything. Dude, police pursuits always look so good. I try to do cinematic camera and look around.
That's literally what Miles does when he does like the Juan Carlos shit. That shit's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my DMs with XCOM? Where's he at?
Oh no.
I got this little clip. Here, I'll send it to the both of you. I got this little clip for XCOM while he was in mid pursuit. Okay, you and I literally never talked to each other. The last time you and I spoke was December 3rd of 2025.
I think that was when I messaged you about me yelling in the fucking car.
Yeah, Chad, I got you.
What is the fucking music in this?
It's
Persona. I was kidding.
no, it's called Delirious. It's a JJK song.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Pretty good.
They call their
Oh my
mama.
God, oh my God, the headaches, bro. Is this with the new Buffalo or is this with the current one?
Oh, this is the AC.
Okay. And XCOM is driving on rain, I take it?
Yeah, XCOM is on rain. Every once in a while I just do little like weird cinematics like this of my friends.
Oh yeah. I do that too, where like I'll just jump in cinematic camera from the passenger seat. And you know, if you swipe your mouse left or right, it'll change cameras.
Yep.
So sometimes
I
I'll just do
like
that
to do
the
it on
beat
a
of
controller. I like to do it on a controller because you're way more consistent on being able to get the camera to switch like POVs with a controller by tapping the joystick to the left or the right. But
yeah,
anytime I try and do it with a mouse, I'm like trying to go with the beat to the song, and it's like, go, move, camera, Jesus.
That's funny.
I'm used to playing Counter-Strike from instead of at my wrist, at my elbow. So swapping on the mouse is easy because I'm swiping that shit across my whole mouse pad.
I don't even remember the last time I played Counter-Strike, if I'm gonna be real. I think it's
probably about it.
I think it's been over like 2 years since I last played, I would say.
I've been thinking about it.
I thought about it too, but
I'm just enjoying WoW right now. I play one game aside from roleplay. I'm enjoying WoW. I'll probably play something else soon.
I was playing RDR2 the other night.
Dragon Wilds.
Dragon Wilds?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what game that is, if I'm gonna be real.
RuneScape Dragon Wilds.
It's the RuneScape Valheim game, I think.
I mean,
yeah, it's like a Valheim-esque survival game.
Okay.
But based in the world of RuneScape. It is it's one of my favorite games at the current moment, and I will wholeheartedly believe it to be continuously one of my at least top 5 games for a very long time.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I was just smacking up them goblins across Lumbridge every day after school.
I never played RuneScape, man. I mean, like, honestly, like back in the day, like in high school, I was either playing like Call of Duty or Halo, and I was going to LANs on the weekends at my buddy's houses and shit. But like, the other day, like I decided to take Friday and just chill. But then, like, I wanted to check something to make sure it wasn't my PC that was being stupid, just because ever since I got this 5070, there was a point where I felt like my PC was struggling with something, but it's definitely not anymore ever since I like wiped the graphics drivers and stuff. But I was playing RDR2 for like an hour, and I was just like, man, this game is like the most aesthetically pleasing game I have like ever played. And I'm like really hoping like GTA 6 is going to be just as good, honestly. And then you know, today I hop on like the server, and then you know, obviously I'm sure everybody's been dealing with all like the server lag and stuff that's been happening lately, and I'm just like, fuck me.
Going back.
I'm just like,
going back
me.
to the Wild West.
Well, no, I played on the server, but like, I mean, obviously, like, there's been a lot of like random like server lag or like hiccups lately, so no idea what the hell's going on, which I'm sure is being looked at. But like, you know, but all I can say is like, it's just crazy to see like how gaming has come so far from like, you know, you're playing Super Mario on like your, you know, 8-bit fucking system, and then you know, now we're playing consoles and PC where like, you know, we have like full-fledged fucking like models of people with like clothing and hair and water and clouds and all that shit, and it just looks good.
I mean, yeah, man, it's crazy to think about how like the graphics that your computer is rendering live in the moment are better than what computers are taking the time to render out in movies in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. If there was a game, okay, this is a question for everybody. If there was like if you weren't streaming like GTA, I guess, right? Or like you weren't mainly playing it, like what other game would you mainly be playing and streaming right now?
If GTA never grabbed me, I'd probably still be in like first person shooter land.
Yeah, it'd probably be the same.
I think so too.
Lots of Counter-Strike still.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be playing Call of Duty or something, but you know, Call of Duty is just not really my thing anymore, like period. So
I think I would have gone the same route, probably like Call of Duty first person shooter world, or somewhere in the like RuneScape, World of Warcraft area, like you know, one of those like, you know, MMO content creators. That's like if I, you know, went like if GTA never grabbed me, I'd probably still be sitting at Charles Schwab, working my way to being a stockbroker. You know, like that's what I'd be doing. Still, I'd be sitting in an office answering phone calls all day long.
Answering phones.
But yeah, I don't know. What I really want to do, and I'm hoping to try and start it in April, is you know, stop being the aspiring content creator and just be a content creator.
Just make OBS a startup program on your computer, man. Come on.
Well, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna like stream whatever the fuck I want. I'm not gonna my big thing was like, oh, I need GTA content. I need GTA content. It's like, I'm just gonna stream what I want, man. You know, like
it's
the
all
whole
content,
point,
though.
You know, the whole point is to build your community. You know, not like build a community around one particular game. And the other thing is like, if I sit here and try and get big as a GTA content creator, I'm always going to inevitably have those people that jump into my stream and are just fucking weirdos. Oh, how dare you say that to my streamer? And it's like, brother, get a life.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Somewhere else.
I don't know. I only stream like when I feel like it, and like honestly, like yeah, there definitely are like a lot of weirdos out there, especially like in the roleplay community, which is wild. Like I still hear people getting like death threats and stuff, and
bro, like, you
know, doxxed and stuff. And I'm just like, bro, like, are we really like that serious? Like,
just within like the last like week and a half, one of my friends came to me and was like really sad because some random loser went into her Discord and like like server spammed that she was a whore and a fat piece of shit because she did something in character. And I'm just like,
people need to understand how to separate game from real life, and unfortunately I think some people just struggle with that because one, people are weird, and two, people have massive egos for no reason. They think they're the best at everything, and then
that's me.
Yeah. That's me.
I'm better at everything than everyone.
It's like listen, man, it's like people, it's like, you know, people would love to see Wise Guy stream, but I mean, that man's, you know, doing his thing, so
yeah.
I don't worry about streaming, even though, like, you know, sure, like, would it be nice to be able to stream and make content and make money off that shit? Absolutely. But I mean, I'm at that age where it's like, it's a little late, so
That's fair. I'm just tired. I don't know. I think I would always come back to just doing something in content always, whether or not it's a good idea, whether or not it gains traction, whatever. It's just, I always need like creative outlets. And so it's just like, this is why I do 2 podcasts. It's why I stream, you know, it's why I do all this shit.
It's why I don't play Minecraft, because I can't get creative with Minecraft.
Yeah. And so it's like, these are the things I enjoy doing, and narrative storytelling, improv storytelling, all that stuff. It really is just my bread and butter and my jam, as far as like what like really engages my brain with a lot of that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, hey man, I strived to be a video editor for like 10 years, and with a lot of the companies I worked for, none of them really helped push me or really assisted me in trying to get to where I wanted to get to. And even like putting myself out there for years, just trying to be like, hey, like, I want to learn more. Like, can you show me some stuff? It's like, oh, well, we don't really have the time. To a point of where they were like, yeah, like, we're like, you know, you can't use this stuff as like for your reel. And I'm like, why? Like, I worked on it. I should be allowed to do that.
Right.
And then they're like, yeah, well, we're not letting you.
That's
like, all right, cool.
Thanks a lot, Nickelodeon.
I mean, considering Nickelodeon was definitely one of the people I technically worked for. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't their fault. They were just the publishers. It was more so just the studio, right?
Yeah, thanks a lot, that fucking blue dog. It was him specifically. You're like, I really want to use this for my reel.
Thinking chair and think.
You're like, hey, I really want to use this for my reel. And the dog's like, burr, burr, burr. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I worked on this. It just plays out like a fucking South Park skit in my head.
I mean, South Park to this day is still funny, and to see how far they came from literally using like paper and cardboard cutouts for characters and having to do frame by frame with that shit must have been tiring as fuck.
Dude, when I watch 6 Days to Air, I just, every time I watch it, I'm just like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's just like, it is possible. Like, go after it, like, get things done. Like, it's like I don't know. It's the thing that tells me that like a time crunch, like, is possible. Like, whenever I'm like facing one, it's like, you can handle it. And I'm like, look at this shit. Like, this is just what they do. Like, this is just how they operate. It's a cool documentary to watch.
You know, it's a great documentary, and I'm sure you'll agree with this on me. Well, sorry, on me? With me? I don't know why I said on me, but
In
okay.
you?
I want to be on you.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I love you. I love you so much. It's I want to lick your skin off. I prefer that you didn't. I still to this day like rewatch the Metallica Some Kind of Monster documentary. I don't know why. I don't know why, but like I just really thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's good.
And even like the Foo Fighters one, when they were making their album in like 2010 or something. I can't remember what it was called, but it's like another good one. Like going through the whole like Nirvana phase and like you know, getting rid of their drummer because Dave Grohl was in like his, you know, kind of like ego era kind of thing when he was like making albums and stuff. Like it was they're both really good, like just music band documentaries, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Some Kind of Monster is a great documentary because also like it helps you listen to that album and hear those two different like sides of that album, and like why like the parts in the first like recording sessions sound so different from the parts in like the second half of the album and the other recording sessions after they picked up making the album again. I could go on and on and on and on.
I think my biggest take on that like documentary compared to like their older music from like the 90s and 80s is that it's not the same.
Well, it's different, right?
It's very different, which I'm not like too big of a fan of anymore. Honestly, like I mean, I liked Metallica's older stuff, but I'm not really a big fan of a lot of their newer stuff since Saint Anger. So,
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're a lot of people would call like the late '80s definitely their peak. Like a lot of people feel that they peaked out after Injustice for All. People also say that they sold out on their second album when there was a ballad in it. So I don't know. Fandoms are crazy in that regard.
what the fuck did you just send me?
Hey man, I'm sending us content for the podcast, okay? I'm sending us podcast.
It's pixelated. I think there's bare skin. What the fuck is this?
Bro, why are all these
video?
Why are all these people?
It is a video of somebody who went to
sold my first fart art gallery.
Bro, why are these people?
Fart art gallery convention and sold their own fart art.
Yeah, and all these people are wearing fucking muumuus, bro. Like, what the hell's going on?
Junkie sent me and PK a video from Twitter where people are putting paint on their assholes and farting on canvases and selling it as fart art.
It's literally like all you hear is just,
dude, people will buy anything. Holy fuck.
That is so fucked, man.
Well, that's going to do it for episode 6. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out and chit chatting about all things roleplay. We always have a full roleplay episode somewhere in there because there's just so much to fucking talk about in our lovely little world of San Andreas that we make ours, and people live their second lives with several businesses and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And anyways, you can check us out on Spotify and YouTube, and we'll catch you guys next week. It's been Junkie, it's been PK, and it's been me. I'm Adam. I'll catch you all later.
Peace out.
A-Town down.